Thanks, Dave.
Beautiful. Oh, gee. You got that strict tempo, haven't you?
Yeah, oh dear. This is a little accordion.
Yep.
Oh, there's some of those.
Dave, tell me about some of the first dances you would have played at.
Oh, well, the old barn dances mainly first, the old sheds, the old shooting sheds.
Whereabouts? Whereabouts?
Out of greens, pouts,
These are all round Forbes.
all around Forbes, yeah, what within a 12-mile radius. You gather, terrible lot of Jeroboam.
Can you describe what one would have been like? What would have happened?
Well, what are we to say? There used to be a fight or two, that was always on the card. And you used to leave here, with mostly horse and sulkies in the real early days. And when you went out, what are we to say? You'd get there, or you'd have to leave early. You'd start playing about 7:30. You go right on nearly morning. Yeah, there was no, they go right nearly all night. And what you used to get then was about, but when I first started, I used to get 10 and 6. Nellie and I used to get 10 and 6. We used to reckon it was good money. And then the fours, we got £4.10 for the free of the fours.
What were you playing?
I was playing accordion, and Beryl used to play the drums, and Nellie used to play the violin, and Beck the banjo.
You have no PA gear, you just be
I
playing.
know, would you ever knew what that was?
Did you have any trouble being heard in those days? Do you have any trouble being heard, or were the people quiet?
No, I meant to say it was different in them days. I don't know why it was. What I meant to say that there wasn't a noise and one thing and another, and of course and the main thing in them days was the fast floor. They'd have a lot of kerosene and sawdust, and they'd put that all on to fill up the cracks in the old floor, and then they'd sweep it off, and it'd just leave the kerosene there. And another thing was candle. If it wasn't fast enough, then they used to use sago, and they'd have all those sort of things to make the floor fast.
What sort of dances would you have been playing then?
Oh, there'd be the mazurkas, shot east, Varsuvianas, Jolly Willow waltzes, tap walls, Terracotta barn dances, and Pride of Airing, and Cruising, whatever they used to call them.
Can you remember any of the tunes you would have played in some of those early dances?
Yes, yeah.
Can you play a few now?
Yeah, there was. This was our first one on our at Pride of Erin. That was your Pride of Erin. And then the old shot east, it was ring the bell watchman then, not Flick goes as she is. And I'll never forget, well, yes, we used to go right away, used to play at Griffiths, not at Griffiths, Maroon, at Area Park. I'll never forget we went down there once for a wedding, and went down with a cousin in a 28 model Chev, I think we went down in. The first of the green Chev 6s had come out. Anyhow, we got down there in this old church. There was a big old white Auckland rooster. And then the fowls was living in it. And anyhow, before they could dance after the wedding, the oar was on the back of this church. The old oar might be still there today. The barber shop and everything all joined it. It was a funny setup. So anyhow, with the barber it was the day that was the barber, he done the lot. So anyhow, they had to catch this rooster, and there was white feathers everywhere. And I'll never forget it. Beck and him could tell you about the same thing as it was. And anyhow, this old fella's there, and he's got this great white beard down. Oh, God, you ought to see it. And every time he'd go to do the shot, he'd go like this. See, he'd kick his foot like that, right? All he stuck in my arm. It's like if his leg was wound up, and he'd go like this. And then he'd get a bit, and then he'd do the whole white beard of white like that. Well, there was feathers in this white beard and everything. I'll never forget that. That's as true as any. That was down at Area Park, where you rode the railway line there today. And I tell you, the bloke that told you it was Johnson, one of Mum's people. That, remember Uncle Lou that used to come up there, that fellow used to play the violin, the real hard case? Yeah, with all in, but all the things that used to happen, I mean to say there's no doubt about it.
So any other dances that stuck in your memory as being quite events?
Yeah, well, there's that, and when I think of oh, yeah, my God, this is a true one, this. This is not so long ago. This is about 37. There was no road to Vajurabun then, but just a bit, here and there, not like a beautiful road we got today. There was an old place, Rob, you know where it is. It's this side, it's pulled down now. Do you remember where that farm was down there where Dr. Where Peyton was for a while? You remember that now? Just where near you remember Claude Constable's old place there? Well, anyhow, there was an old house there, in that part there. And we went down to pay for a dance, and I'll never forget this. Dad had a tin top on the old Ford, and anyhow, she got out a licence to carry passengers. And anyhow, he had a fairly big load on, and anyhow, it started to rain. And of course, as you come around the turn of the bed with the river, it was all black soil, and of course it was like glass. And she slipped off to the side, and my geez, you start to go down. So anyhow, Rob Trainer and I and Verrill and Dad, we said, well, the only thing we can do... Oh, so the blokes wouldn't get out. I remember one was, no, Monkey Jones, he wouldn't get out. But we didn't expect the girls to get out. He had his black suit on and everything. So this is true about this. So Dad says, go over to the old house there. And he said, you might get some timber. So we goes into the old place, in this old house. I'm behind the trainer. We got the old kerosene light. it was a good lantern, a kerosene light with a bull's eye. All trainers going in like this, and I'm behind all fellas behind me. We goes up a big old place like that, and when we gets up there, here's these two great eyes shine at us. And anyhow, and as white as anything. Oh my God, did we get going quick. We went back to Dad. Dad said, be blown. Rolf says, ghost, he said, there's somebody in there. Anyhow, when we goes up, was poor old Ram that shore, and he was in there out of the cold. Well, things that just happened, that's true about that was key of the whole house. And we were told, Sid said, what might, they wouldn't go up into there because there's lines supposed to get away down Bajurabung many years ago. We heard the tale afterwards, and this king was living there, and in there they reckon they could hear this line outside, and it was a poor cart blowing up on the Linson. After the years, they could hear, grunting and going on, I reckon there's a line, so anyhow, of course, if the things used to happen, what I mean to say, you'd only credit those things. But that was what the ghost was.
You're talking about the lights before for some of the dancers, Dave.
Eh?
You're talking about the lights for some of the dancers.
What they used to have was a pressure light, and it was a cylinder, and you pumped it up. Some was kerosene, some was petrol.
Just one for the whole hall.
Oh no, they did that. But in lots of cases, they only had the one big old light. And what I mean to say, a lot of the dancers would have just a sort of like a big old. What could we say? Like a big old light on those old Cotton Co coaches. That's what it looked like. And what I mean to say, it was mainly I'll tell you one instant happened. Nellie was only very young, and we used to play down here, where Melody Jones's place down here, where the, what's that called it now, Spackford down here. Where the old pub used to be down there, that big old house, right? Well, McMahon had that, and he was the milkman, and there was a big old place there, and we used to always play for dances there, and all we had in them days was just a light, an ordinary kerosene light with a burner and a globe about that big. And now Mrs. McMahon, she was a lovely old one, she come in, she said, that light's getting down. She said, I'll have to put some more kerosene in it. Anyhow, she went away and topped it up. After a while, she brought the light back, and she was starting to pop and get going properly. They discovered they had to get out quick, and she'd fill it up with petrol. Yeah, so that's Nellie was sitting near the light.
They were alive at the dance.
Yeah, you see, like happens, it wasn't. Oh, gee, it's a wonder we didn't burn the place down. Anyhow, that's true. That's out there.
What about the calling? Who would have done that in those days, Dave? Who was doing the calling for you?
The calling?
Yeah.
Dad used to do all the calling and everything. And then when the dances ended something, someone would get up and recite or something like that. There was no idol. What I mean to say, Dad used to be a beautiful reciter, poems. We got some of Dad had them on tape somewhere, him and Mr. McCursey, and I'm blowed if I know. We've looked for those. We found out after what happened to him, because when Showcase come on, burnt down the tape and over the top of the things, we found out that's what happened with Dad. That's true about that.
What sort of things would he have recited? Any idea?
Oh, the Mountain Snowy River and Fancy Can the Overflow and all those. He was good. And Mother, all those. Dad was a beautiful reciter and that.
But in those days, with the dancing, would most people know what to do?
Oh, yes.
They'd be doing it all the time.
They knew as soon as ever you sang it out, they all knew. They knew what it was because they've, that fond of dancing. Well, there's nothing else on one.
Do you remember the sort of instruction he'd be giving them? Do you remember the sort of instruction he'd be giving them?
Yeah, to say, I remember Dad used to say that, they'd take them up and they'd, what are we to say, they'd, start, like, show them, like Dad taught June Stone was up, and she could tell all in. What we used to do, we had the records on an old wind-up gramophone. That's how Dad used to teach him, and we had a record here. June could tell you the same thing. June's, she was a beautiful dancer. She was here up there too. One idea dancing and all in on there. And Dad we used to play that record somewhere in France for tutors, a beautiful jazz waltz at the time. And any of the old waltzes now, we'd play that, and then the good dancers would teach the others. What are we to say? I'll never forget Mum She was always loved the dancing. She's danced with Mr. Kirkman, Jack Kirkman's father. He was a big man. Out here in the little old shed there at Greens at the 4 Mile. No, it wasn't. It was Jerrick's. We used to play at Jerrick's. That's across the river. There used to be a place across the river there where Mrs. Nixon's place is now, Rob. And Newell's and all them. And now, Tiptoe Through the Tulips was the barn dance then. It just come out and was something popular. And Mum, and then he had the next thing, Ian come off Mum's shoe. He had those high-heeled shoes. And Jesus, it's funny, Mum was a little woman, and to see Mum try to dance with the... We went, Tiptoe Through the Tulips. George Sawley was famous then, and any songs that came out then, or whatever it was, they'd use. What I mean to say, all didn't matter what it was, they'd use any of those songs. And the beautiful waltzes, whatever waltzes came out. But there was no anyone could play something, or a violin or something, whatever. That was the what's name, that was the... what they had, what you could, whatever they could get or make up or anything at all.
Were many people playing music in those days around here? Would most people be playing some sort of instrument?
Well, they could all just, a lot of them could play a bit of something, but in them days, you were made if you had a mouth organ. Now, if a Saturday night, there was no lights, Dad had a big old yard here, and they used to all leave the sulkies down here, and over at Rogerson's stables, there's Higgins and all them, I'll tell you, we still talk about. They come into town, well, you get a record in them days for 2 and 6, good record. Well, then, they go and get their records, where they were thinking it was something. Mr. Strickland had the shop up here.
Was that about 78?
Yeah, the 78 record, and you take that home, and you'd have a mouth organ, and you'd burn those there, and you'd be made. You get a good mouth organ, good boomerang mouth organ then for 2 and 6, Then they got the 4 and 6. They were a really good mouth organ.
Could you play us a mouth organ tune now?
Huh?
Could you play us a mouth organ tune now? You got a mouth organ there?
Yeah, I've got one there.
Could you play us a...
It's a long time since I played a mouth organ.
Yep. Dave, tell us about your father. He taught you to play the button accordion?
Yes, Dad was a good concertina player too.
That's his photograph up there, is it?
Yeah, up on the wall there. Yes, Dad was very, very good. By the G he was. He had a little His accordion was red and black and white. This is what's the name? There's only a two-stop. And when I started to learn, you used to get accordion, a little one. It was 16 and 6. Old Prescott used to sell them up there. Then a good accordion in them was 25 bob. And they were a senator. They were very cheap. There's no doubt about that. What do we to say? They were really cheap. Well, then they brought out another one, and it cost me £14. And I sent away and got it, and picked it out of a book or something, and anyhow we sent away and got it, and when it come up with, that's right, Ausley's brought it up for me. And when they brought it up, now wait on, I'm getting mixed up. It was 14, I went around, but can used to be in the post office then. I went around and got the postal on, and anyhow, it came up, and I tell you, brought it over to the Artie Gens. And when we opened it, it was all cracked. And then it was packed that way, not the true art. So we rang him up straight away, and Ausley was going down, the saddler. So we gave him the tape back, and I did to him, Mop the Crooks, there's no doubt about it. So Ausley went into the place. You know what old Jeff was like? He got stuck into him. But it ended up, I got me money back. Or something, I don't know. But in the end, I was supposed to do the accordion. I got the accordion back, another sort of a one for it. But it was an awful thing. It had 3 stops, and the back stop here supposed to sound like an organ, and it wasn't. It was a discord key when you pulled it out. That's what I tell you. I had for a good while, was new, and I tell you, I sold it to Alan Dowley. Alan Dowley lives down in Ferry Street's got the accordion. It was an awful thing, and supposed to be a great accordion and everything, and it was £14.
What did your father play,
Huh?
Dave? What sort of accordion did your father play?
It was I don't know what Dad's was. It was
He played concertina.
a little senator, I think it was.
Right.
Uh,
And where would he have learnt from?
the concertina was a Fauntleroy, I think. Lord, they called him Fauntleroy. And they were only cheap. It was only a little cheap round little angle thing. But the man that had the greatest concertina and the greatest player that was ever here was Mercury, a man named McMurcury. He monumental mason. He had the world's concertina. You may as well say it had gold keys and everything. He was a great player. Oh, you've heard of old Fred McMurtry. Kyle Pete's got one of his concertinas. They're all gold keys. I see him play. I see him playing in the town hall. And he had it made in England. They're all specially made, though, for it. Nothing like, and it was all gold keys and everything. McMurtry, that was his life. He'd been everywhere. He was a professional concertina player. All classic stuff, like the bells and all this business and that. And he'd throw and wave it around all over the place.
How did the concertina rate beside the button accordion, Dave?
Well, why don't you say a concertina's more sharper? And I'll show you, see? What I mean to say now, I used to play a concert, so used to Jack Stevie, but then when you took to the accordion, you stuck to the vamp and you got back to the vamp. Actually, you vamp the same on the end of the concertina. What's the name? Well, now, here, I cross key it. Now, if this was a piano accordion, you'd call this chord. You'd say it was a chord, but it's not a chord on a button accordion, because if you listen, if you come back on that chord, that's a chord, isn't it? Well, now, if I come back on that, that's a discord. See, different idea. See now, you it. Just play on Sweet Home Ordinary. Now it's learning open variations. See, that's coarse keying. Well, that's what you do with the concertina, and you do it with the other egg. See? What I mean to say, when you're doing that, you're playing 8 notes, not just the what's now. See now. See, that's because here, right? What I mean
So
to say.
would the button accordion have been more popular than the concertina, Dave?
Oh yeah,
Make more-
concertina was popular in their day, but the button accordion today, well, they haven't really improved as much on a concertina as what they were button accordion, because what I mean to say, they put a different thing. A lot of the concertinas, without Robbie's got a good one there, that level one there. But you take a lot of the average concertina today, they're mainly still the same idea, aren't they? A bit of, without you have a good one, an English one or something like that, that you can get. But the average lot of one of them today, well, they just, what am I to say, they're still got the old springs and still got a lot of the old what's now. Where these here, all this here, and these here now, well, these are all Mechlin and fretted. And another thing too, to tell you how these are improved. Now, the early accordion, I can still show you marks for years. They had screws in there, screw here, and screw there. Well, no matter what you done, the damn screws had cut the ends off you. What do we just say? They'd cut the ends off you there. And then you had this trouble here with this here, because this is right in here. And you couldn't put oversized screws in because you'd be right in behind this here. You'd have to alter the whole lot. Well, today, if you now decide, see, like I was showing you, right, we cut the bolt off and that's in there, see? You've got, these are very, very fast little keyboard. What do we just say, what do we just say? If you had to do, now you've got no loss, and always keep these stops well up. Now, in Nicholson's, the arrow tester said, if you see some of them, press them down. Well, then when you go to play them, the other reeds are blowing to a separate tune, and they won't blend. I've found that out too with the other accordion, because you put all the strain on the other thing, see? Now, but see, now I'm playing all that around there, just in there, where if I had a piano accordion, so I'd have the octaves, but I'd have to go.
Yeah.
So you-
Getting back to the tunes, Dave, do you come up with any tunes yourself?
What's that?
Have you written any tunes yourself?
No. Oh, yeah, no, not really, but a lot of the old ones, you know, like you often hear there was no tune there the other day now. I was only, that's right, I said to him, some old tune was there the other day. They'll come into your mind from the old records, you know. Wanted me to say that, or a lot of the, now when it comes, a lot of these old marches, we mix them up too. All them old marches, you know. There's some pretty watered by and all those things, you know, all the...
What was the first tune you learnt, Dave?
Uh,
What was the first tune you learnt?
oh, well, I used to go to the Salvation Army when I was a kid and come home here in Norman Burton, and they'd be bringing in the sheaves. The Salvation Army band used to come to there, and I'd come home and I'd sit there for hours, yeah, bringing in the
You
sheaves.
still playing?
Yeah, I think... Then there was another one too, right?
There's a lot of them.
Well, what did the first set for the first set for the Lancers? Wasn't it? Oh, I didn't get a sequence for that or something. Used to.
Yes, they went in any other one. You go out at the army, play it in a different way. In Massey, that Massey was another beautiful one. All them old ones for the league up and that. Anything as long as it was what me to say, another good old one too was that one. Morning.
Very nice, Dave. It's using the cap with the mouth organ there.
This stuff, right?
Only this mouth organ's hard.
You right there?
Yes.
Thanks, Dave. That was great. You get a few crops in and playing with. There's a whole lot of people dancing, and there's Dave, the stage here in the centre. I got to do Abalone.
Oh, gee, that would God Almighty outfit.
Okay, take it away. Let him roll.
How about that?